What's going on a Saturday morning? It's easy, like Saturday morning. Got my Speaker City shirt on. Feeling good. Got 22 people in here. How's it going? Tahua Bar and Grill. All right. Saturday morning fun. That's right. Remember Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s? I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'd have to watch the Farm Report because I was so excited to watch Saturday morning cartoons. And I have to wait until they started. Morning from Pittsburgh. Good morning to you, Arthur. Yo, yo. Hope your Labor Day weekend is going well. Chris, holiday weekends usually are very difficult for me. Why? Because the kids are out of school and I have to make content. And having the kids out of school while I'm trying to make content is not necessarily conducive to making content. I also like to have content available on holidays because people might be hanging out. Maybe they want to watch a little bit of the Chief Audio Man. So holidays, like everybody was like, hey, have a great weekend, 3-day weekend. I'm like, not for me, it's not. I legit work every day, 7 days a week. But it's fun work, but it's still work. Man, we got some people rolling. 94 people on a last minute live stream. You guys are the best. Enrique, my man from Mexico. What part of Mexico are you in? Really want to go down to Mexico soon. I haven't been for a while. Green Bay, what's up, man? Look at you playing the drums. How's it going, Dragnet? Got a green turntable. Football starts today. Yes, Brandon. Football started for me on Thursday night when the Nebraska Cornhuskers played Minnesota and blew a lead in the last quarter like they've been doing for a long time. I was very optimistic. First game of the Matt Rule era, and they did the exact same thing they always do to me. They broke my heart. Indiana in the house. Billy Winsock, my man from the UK. Nice to see you got a video out of Sunday's Zoom chat. Yeah, that was such a fun video to make. Supercar and Fireball XL5, good old days. Very good. Hi-Fi or college football? I can't decide. Do both. Listen, turn down the sound, watch football, and then listen to some Hi-Fi. It's probably what I'm going to do after this, actually. Minnesota here. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You guys did what you're supposed to do, and that's win the football game. Point Loma, the dude. Watching from the Philippines? Wow. V3 op amp recommendations. Sparkos, maybe Burson. I don't know. I haven't rolled any op amps lately. That's one thing that I haven't really gotten into. I think it would make for a good video, but that would be a video that also would take a long time to do. I've got multiple V3s, so I guess it wouldn't take too long. I could just change the op amps out on one of them and then put a Weem on both of them, link those up. That would actually be not too terribly difficult. I need to get some Sparkos. I think I do have some Sparkos op amps somewhere. I think they're installed on another Ayima product. Let's see. We got a bunch of people in here. 147 people. Hey, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Thank you. 147 people. Got all sorts of energy this morning. Usually I do these in the afternoon. I'm a little bit tired. My energy level is a little bit lower. Not today, though. Oof. This coffee is a little bit long in the tooth, though. All right. Let me see. Have I missed any super chats? Nope. Not yet. Weem. Oh, whoops. Weem, Tosleak Splinter, V3S with different op amps. What I usually do is I put two Weems, I link them, and I have them running into two different amps. And then I have an amp switcher. So the speaker cables go out of each amp into the amp or speaker switcher, and then to the final speakers. And then I just hit boop, 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 and it switches back and forth. And then I level match them out, or I try to level match them out. Good morning, Dave. Hey, hey, Cam should review Yakin amps. Yaquin. I don't think I've ever heard of those. Just Shelly didn't send you the new AK 4499 question mark? No, they did not. I just talked to them on Sunday too. Hey, from Denmark. Hey, Danny. I think they are sending it to me though. Football, man. Italian GP is tomorrow. That's cool, man. Now I get football's not for everybody, but I played football, so I am a huge college football fan. Huge college football fan. So yeah. New Delhi. Tim Bennett. What up? Hi, in some parts of Europe, Lehman audio amps are kind of reference. Have you heard of them? No, I haven't. That's cool though. I like it how like different parts of the world have different products. I think that's pretty cool. What's up, Unreal Wife? Oh, there's your husband. Hey, everybody. That's what Brian said. Hey, everybody. Jackson, New Jersey. From Tamaulipas. Indiana. Did I already see you? All right. Okay. Go Cyclones. All right. All right. You want cheap? Question mark. Thrift stores. I got an awesome receiver for $30. Yes, that is not repeatable though. That I encourage everyone to roll into thrift stores and see what you can find. But unfortunately, not everybody can do that. There's like I have a patron, Digital Dan, who legitimately has the best thrift store in the world because he's always coming out with like crazy, awesome, really good hi-fi. So yeah. And you have to have time too. Like you have to commit to going to the thrift store because you can't just go once and be like, they didn't have anything. You have to go like daily. So if you have the time and you have a decent thrift store next to you, then absolutely every day go to the thrift store. We got Baltimore in the house. Venice Beach checking in. Whew. Best $500 or so best $500 or so dollar speakers. If you can get the B2 Plus right now, or the V1 Plus from Emotiva, I think they're awesome. I think occasionally, like the Polk R100s will dip below $500. I think if you have a lot of power, that the ELAC Unify 2.0, great speaker. They're usually around $500. You can also look at the ELAC Debut Reference, around $500. Let's see. Yeah, those would be my guess. I actually have a pair of Heiko speakers in. I'm optimistic. I hope they're good. I haven't. They're actually going to get unboxed and put up today. But I got to finish an edit for a video coming out tomorrow. Which please make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's a really, really good speaker. One of the best speakers I've heard. So yeah. Hey, from Van Buren, Arkansas. Chris, I actually lived in Van Buren, Arkansas for about 3 months. So when I first got out of the Navy, I took a job out of Fort Smith, but I ended up living in Van Buren. And I was there for 3 months, and then I got transferred to a job in Louisiana. I moved to Shreveport. But yeah, first house I ever bought was in Van Buren, Arkansas. Beautiful part of the country. Husker women's volleyball. Yeah. So I know if you're not into college sports, you probably don't care. But anyway, Nebraska has one of the best volleyball programs in the world. Well, in the country, I guess. I don't know the world. Anyway, they have crazy fans, and they've been selling out. Like I don't remember what the seating capacity is. Anyway, They played volleyball at Memorial Stadium, which seats like 90,000 people, and they sold it out, which is bananas that a volleyball team sold out a 90,000 seat stadium. It's really cool. Nebraska fans really like their sports. Schenectady. Donald, thank you. I love you. Are you still buddies with Ron Bernay? Of course. Understandable if you can't talk about it. No, I don't mean there's nothing can't talk about. Ron's awesome. We don't talk as much as we used to, but yeah, we're still buddies. We send each other jokes every now and again. I think he's getting right back into it, which I really like. He's making a lot of videos. Great channel, great guy. Was very much a mentor to me when I first started in YouTube. Kef Q150, great speakers under $500. Yeah, I second that. Very good speakers. Although you got to get them on sale. I think they're around $300 when they're on sale. Yeah, really good. I like those. They're my favorite Q acoustic speakers, actually. The 150s. Does Weem have some distortion? I imagine. I think everything has a bit of distortion. Yeah, I would say yes, it has some distortion. Put it in an external DAC, though, probably. Yeah, the internal DAC's not going to be great. I mean, the new Weem Pro Plus with the 4493 AKM DAC chips, better, a lot better. But in my experience, it doesn't have any more distortion than anything else. So if you're getting distortion from a Weem, I would check the rest of your system. Dollywood in the shade. Edward Agenza. Portugal, Spokane, Washington. I cannot pronounce your name, but you look very serious in your profile picture. Driving my DIY Dennis Murphy affordable accuracy monitors, modded Pioneer SPBS22LR with the new Fozzy V3 is pure bliss. Happy heart music emoji. Josh Carlson, I'm glad you like it. Emotiva B2 Plus, love him. That Randy's fault. Hey, I will accept that. For sure. It's great speaker. I love that speaker. They're right here. Here's their grill. I haven't used the Weem with a 3.5 millimeter. The beauty of the Weem is not in the DAC itself. So it's unless you get like the Weem Pro Plus. Even the Weem Pro has got a decent DAC in it, but you don't get that for the DAC. You get it for the software, the streaming, all that good stuff. I tried the B2 Plus, too harsh for my ears. My system is a Weem Mini J2 and A2M amp. Yeah, I don't find that, but I also don't like tow them directly at me too, so I lean them out. If a speaker ever does seem too like spicy for you, you can mess with toe in, toe out, and then you can also mess with height. So you can get a little bit above or below the tweeter level, and that's going to cut down on the treble. Technical Times. How's it going? It's going well. Good morning to you. Wharfdale too. Oh yeah, sorry. The Wharfdale Denton 80th edition. It's a killer speaker, and they go on sale for $500. Absolutely killer. All right, Danger Will Robinson. My Emotiva B1 Plus are Randy's fault also too. Yeah, you won those though, Randy. That's awesome. Arundel. I haven't heard those. I know a lot of people did those reviews. Reviewed those. John B, my favorite band. It's got to be Metallica. I know. A little bit boring, but yeah. Starting birthday party early, LOL. No super chats? Come on, y'all. We need to support the channel. 99 cents. 200 people. 201 people. Black Friday is around the corner. It really is. I mean, September's already here. My wife said I got to do something in September, and I'm like, man, it seems like so far away. And then I'm like, oh, it's September 1st. So September 2nd today. Yes, I did win them, but used to think I knew what clean sound was, and now I know the difference. Yeah, they're great. Rip Jimmy Buffett. It's 1700 somewhere. That yeah, it's a sad deal, man. Guy made a lot of great music. Did you see that Metallica cut their set short last night due to vocal issues? No, I didn't see that. Unfortunately, I don't get a lot of time to like keep up on current events, especially on the weekends and stuff like that. No, that's sad. Sad. But he sounded good when I saw him. Love the latest watch review, brother. Thank you, Simon. It's right here. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, I actually have another channel where I review watches. I'm a watch enthusiast too. Y'all should subscribe to that channel too. Here, I'll drop a link in. If you'd be so kind. Well, I mean, if you're not into watches though, don't subscribe to my watch channel. But I'm trying to get that channel off the ground. I think we got 12,000 subscribers, which is not terrible at all. I don't post there nearly as much as I post here though. So yeah, there you go. If you want to go check it out and subscribe. Hey, look at this. Louis Hurtado, $4.99. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Keeping the lights on over here at the Cheap Audio Man. Louis Hurtado. Thank you very much. That is Seiko? No, this is actually a Citizen. It's an automatic watch. Very good. Less than $200. ISO certified dive watch. Very good deal. I'm retired and looking forward to a 7-day weekend. Very nice. Brandon Hall, $5. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, my friend. Keeping the lights on at the Cheap Audio Man. Very good. I love my Project Pre-Box S2 digital DAC headphone amp, preamp. Did you ever review one when it came out forever ago? No, I don't believe I did. I have a 2-box S2 phono preamp, which I love this. It's not cheap. It's $500, but it was one of those that I liked it so much I bought it. So yeah, Project makes some really good electronics, and I don't think they do a good enough job of like marketing their electronics because they're really good. $2, Clint Boaz. $2 speakers for Rotel A11 or A10 Mark II. That's a really good amp. I had them connected to a few different speakers. I had them connected to the Q I always want to say Q Acoustics 5020s. Great pairing. I had them connected to, what else did I have them connected to? Q Acoustics 5040. Great pairing too. That's an amp that I think is clean enough and does not like lean one way or the other that it's going to pair with any speaker. Now, if you put like a really warm speaker on it, then it's going to sound warm. But that's a very transparent amp to the source. So you can't really go wrong. Now, it's rated at 50 watts into 8 ohms, 62 watts into 4 ohms, but I think those are very conservative ratings. So unless you're wanting to like blast out at 90 dB, which most speakers can't handle 90 dB anyway, then it's going to pair well with everything, really. It's very neutral amp. Really like it. The magic of that amp is not like in its tonality. The magic of that amp is in the spatial cues, the air, the largeness of the sound. It's a very good amp. I really like it. Really like it. KLH Model 5, $500 off. Worth it. What's the most ideal amp for the Model 5? I like the Model 5s, but I had to turn the treble mod all the way down and slam them right up against a wall. So I find that a lot of these heritage models with the larger woofers actually don't put out as much bass as I like. So for that, I think an ideal amp for that would be something like the Denon PMA 600NE, something that's warmer, a little bit thicker on top. And they're spicy. The Model 5s are very spicy in the treble. But with that aluminum dome tweeter, like percussion, cymbals, things like that are going to sound great. Wasn't necessarily a speaker that I personally would want, but I can see other people. Like I can see other people loving that speaker. Just wasn't like the speaker for me. Still a very good speaker. And I gave it a very good review because it is a very good speaker. But for my personal preference, it wouldn't be one that I would get. But I'm not saying that it shouldn't be one that you get. It's just not my cup of tea. I like a little bit more meat on the bone. What's up, Douglas? How are you? When are you reviewing the great Paradigm Premier 800F? I don't know. I'd love to. Who owns Paradigm? Is that the Lenbrook Group? I haven't talked to anybody. Every time, like I always have to buy whatever Paradigms I'm reviewing. Donald Cataret, $10. Thank you, Donald, very much. I would love to get the Paradigms in, but I don't have a contact there. Probably a really dumb question, but if you have preamp and amp both with tone control, which one is better to use? I would use the preamp one. Yes, that's what I would do. Faux show. Is there any AVR that sounds as good as the Schmidt Vidar 2 and 2 channel? The best sounding receiver I've heard is the MR1 from Emotiva. Straight up sounded just like an Emotiva amp. So that's the best one. Does it sound as good as the Vidar 2? I don't know because I never compared them. But the takeaway I had with the MR1 is like it just sounds nuts. Like it's the first receiver that I've ever turned on and been like, okay, this thing sounds like a 2-channel amp. Marantz does a good job too. I think at least the NR1711 I thought sounded great for a 2-channel amp. So yeah. On Monolith Encore T6, your thoughts? I think I may have reviewed those. I reviewed, if that's a speaker, I reviewed something Monolith Encore. I thought they were super warm, muddy bass, really overblown on the bottom end. But yeah. Is the XPA DR2 differential reference 2-channel amp a good value at $1,900? Yes, it is. If you have a differential source, it is absolutely. The DR1 monoblocks is the best amp I've ever heard. So to be fair, I haven't heard the DR2, but the DR1 monoblocks is the best amp I've ever heard. If you have a differential front end on it, like you don't buy that amp unless you are running differential or balanced into it. So yeah. I would say absolutely 100% worth it. Paradigm is Canadian. Yeah, I get that, but most of these companies are owned by conglomeration. So like Lenbrook owns NAD, they own oh god, who is it? PSB. They own, come on, Randy. NAD, PSB, Blue Sound. So there's a bunch of brands that Lenbrook owns. Kind of like Sound United owns Denon, Marantz, Polk, B&W, amongst others. What's your current turntable setup? I've got a couple. So this is the U-turn, whatever the top of the line U-turn is. It's their $1,000 turntable. Then I have a Project Metallica limited edition turntable. I've also got one of the new U-turn Orbits specials in, but the U-turn, whatever the $1,000 U-turn is what I've been listening to mostly. Yeah. Have you ever reviewed pair of Zeus speakers? No, I've heard some though. I heard some at a show. One of my patrons brought a pair in. No, I've never had any in for review. Conglomeration, yeah, conglomerate. The Emotiva DR series may be my new goal too. Yeah, it's great. I love it. That's Paradigm. I know. I like to say Paradigm though. That's how I remember how to spell it when I'm doing like transition things. I always remember Paradigm because that way I spell it correctly. I mispronounce a lot of things, but yes, I know it's pronounced Paradigm. I say Paradigm though, so I spell it correctly. Hold on, I can do this. Macaluca, $5. Amazon today has a Sony SSCS5 for $123. Is this the new low, or do you think it will see under $100? Love your content. Aloha from Hawaii. Ooh, I hope you're doing okay. So 123 is the new low, mostly all the time price. There will be one day this year, probably Black Friday or Cyber Monday, where they will go down to $88. Usually it's only one day a year. It used to be a couple times a year, but now one time a year. And 123 is the new low, mostly all the time price. So 123 is a good deal. That's a good price for those speakers for sure. If you don't want to wait around for Black Friday, Cyber Monday this year, then 123 is a good price. And a lot of times, if you're looking at Amazon, go ahead and look down at the Amazon warehouse deals, because sometimes they'll have an Amazon warehouse deal for less than whatever that price is. You might be able to get a good deal. And most of the time, the Amazon warehouse deals are nothing more than a dented box or something like that. I've never bought anything off of Amazon warehouse that has been actually damaged. Even when it says scratch and dent or something like that, it's not damaged. So yeah. Intel Wild, $5. Thank you. Hell, Audio King. I have 2 subs and they sound amazing. Watching movies about music base feels underwhelming. Any thoughts? Trying to think. So you have 2 subs. They sound amazing. Watching movies. I mean, I would just simply start with well, you got to figure out like what mode you are in when you're listening to music. And then are you listening through, I would imagine you're listening through a home theater receiver. So you got to figure out what mode you're listening to, because if you're listening to direct or pure direct mode, it actually turns off the subwoofers. If you're listening to something like all channel stereo, then it'll leave the subwoofers on. Now you can go into the settings and change that to where the subwoofer is still working when you're in pure direct mode. So that's the first thing that I would take a look at. The second thing I would take a look at is the levels that your receiver is setting to the subwoofers. The third thing I would take a look at is what are they crossed over at, and what are your front 2 speakers crossed over at. So if you're listening to stereo and your front speakers are crossed over, I don't know, at 80 hertz or something, then you may have to tweak and figure out how, like, what crossovers you need for music and stuff like that. But if you're listening to pure direct mode, the subs are probably off. So if that helps. Looks like Paradigm is privately owned by the Bagby brothers, who also own Anthem and Martin Logan. Huh. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. I think somewhere I talked to somebody at Paradigm, but I'll have to check it out and see. What is your preferred online vinyl site? Oh, Amazon or Walmart. I buy almost all of my vinyl from Amazon or Walmart. Usually Walmart, because Walmart actually has pretty good deals on vinyl. Yeah. Discogs. I have patrons who love Discogs and have Discogs uh, stores in there. Hey, Ed Homewood. My channel is the same as my name. Not much there, but some stuff coming soon. Ed Homewood. Go subscribe to Ed Homewood's channel. Chris, when you hit 200K, will you do lamb chops with the Fu Manchu? No, I never cared for lamb chops. I don't like them very much. We used to raise, I didn't, my parents did. I just did the work. We used to raise sheep on the farm. So I hated sheep, man. Sheep are stupid animals, dumb animals. I don't like them at all. On your review, I bought the Emotiva B2. Love them. Awesome. Phil McCarthy, hey, from the UK. I recently subscribed to your channel. Love it. Thank you, Phil. I love you. I was wondering, is the DAC and the Wing Pro better than using just the DAC and the Q Acoustics M20 speakers? I don't know. You know, when I talked to Q Acoustics about the M20, they said they didn't have a DAC in it, which I didn't really understand. Because they said it's a digital like amplifier or something. If you have both, try them both. Try it both ways. I would imagine it's probably a little bit cleaner through the M20s. But yeah, run it analog and then run it digital and see which one you like better. If you have them both, yeah. A11 Mark II or OG A11 Tribute with Modi. I think the Tribute is a little bit more. There's some more options on it. I like the sound. Now you'll have to take this with a grain of salt because I don't have the Tribute anymore, so I couldn't A/B them. From memory, the A11 Mark II really impressed me sonically, but it doesn't have the options that the Tribute has. I just can't say one or the other, man. I mean, the Tribute's really cool amp, but the A11 Mark II for some reason just really impressed me. I think like if you're looking, like you can get the A10 Mark II cheaper and then get the Modi. That's probably what I would do. Unless you need like a dedicated subwoofer out or something like that. Yeah, that's what I would do. Raising sheep. Yeah, I had a very strange childhood, very farmer childhood. What do you think about speaker wire length and impact on sound? I think that's kind of like that's a rabbit hole that I don't think is nearly as important as people think it does. Now, with that said, I do think that cables and wires can make a difference, but I don't think the amount of difference that they make is worth fighting about as much as people do. So, yeah, I mean, you also have to consider like the amount of length of wire that it takes to actually have any measurable amount of like impedance or capacitance issues or effects on your system from like a scientific standpoint is really like you'd need like a mile cable run or something like that. But some people swear by the difference in sound, and these are people that I trust, and so I believe them. So ultimately, it's up to you. I don't go out and buy super expensive speaker cables. I have some like $400 speaker cables that AudioQuest sent in. I use them, but like I'm not going out on a limb and saying these make a huge impact. So I have some decent speaker cables, but it's been stuff that has been given to me, and I've never taken the time to really A/B it. Now, power cables I think can make a bigger difference than speaker cables. Like I use good power cables, and I use like a Furman power conditioner, or AudioQuest has a power conditioner. and power cables. I actually did a blind test on myself, and I definitely heard a difference. And I picked out which one was the stock cable and which one was the AudioQuest cable. Funny enough, though, I thought the stock cable was the higher end cable. But was the more expensive cable, which is funny. Sorry, the dog's barking. Thoughts on cables? Those were my thoughts, my friend. 30-second review of your Macintosh setup. Someone's knocking on the door, which I'm not going to be able to answer since I am on a live stream. Sorry, I'm going to mute myself here. Sorry, I'll be right back. I guess I got to sign for something. Sorry. That was very unprofessional of me. Sorry. I just signed for something. I don't even know what it was, but it was some package. Can't believe people are still on here. I'm so sorry. Anyway, 30-second review of your Macintosh setup. Was it worth the cost? Chris, I think it was. I don't use it that often. And the reason why I don't use it that often is because I only want to listen to stuff that I think people can buy. And it's not that people can't buy that Macintosh stuff. It's that most people can't buy that Macintosh stuff. Not only from a price standpoint, but also from a availability standpoint. So while I love vintage equipment, I don't listen to it that much simply because it's not widely available. From a sonic standpoint, there is a loudness button on the preamp, and if you hit it, it is so overwhelmingly bassy that's not even usable. So I don't know if that's the preamp or if it's the speaker amp. Speaker amp is amazing, the 7270. I think the preamp is really thick. I did AB the C15 preamp Macintosh versus I think the PT2 from Emotiva, and the C15 was so thick and muddy that it was I didn't really like it. I think the best thing, I don't think the C15 has such a warm tone to it that I don't love it. I think the PT2 is a lot better. 7270 though is just a monster. I mean, 270 watts or whatever. I think I'm going to sell that. I think I'm going to sell that Macintosh stuff. So if anybody's interested, let me know. The problem is I don't want to ship it because I've actually shipped the C15. I was going to sell it to one of my patrons and it showed up and it was just a nightmare. There's nothing wrong with it, but something got bumped out of place, so it didn't work very well. And it was just a switch. But if anybody's interested and is in around where I live, let me know if you want that Mac stuff. And I'm willing to part with it. Hank's free range Pomeranians. Yeah. Yeah. It always happens when I do a live stream. It never fails. I get a delivery and the dog goes bananas. Best speakers you have ever heard, all in all. You know what? That review is probably coming tomorrow. I started editing it today, so I'm not going to ruin it. Tune in tomorrow. Now you also have to take this with a grain of salt. When I say best speakers, I am not saying that I am saying this is the best speaker for you. What I'm saying is, from the other speakers I've heard, this is what I hear. And because there's a lot of like personal, like, what do I like? Like, that would be me telling you what the best chocolate cake for you is. If you like chocolate cake, or the best pizza, or the best cheeseburger, or the best whatever. So, um, yeah. Anyway, that review is probably coming tomorrow. Whatever happened to the eBay missing watch stuff? I got screwed out of a very expensive watch. That's what happened. I'll go back and look, and maybe call UPS again, but I don't think anything happened with it. So yeah, I think I just got hosed out of that deal. You live and learn. Don't sell expensive watches on eBay, because UPS will steal them. Or somebody from UPS will steal them. That Mac stuff is out of control money wise. You know, the funny thing about Mac is that the only reason I bought Mac is because I was looking at buying a really nice vintage piece from like Pioneer or Marantz or something. I was looking at those prices, and it got to the point where I'm like, well, why don't I just buy a Mac? Because interestingly enough, when it got to a certain point, Macintosh stuff was actually a better value than like Pioneer or Marantz or one of those like Sansui monster receivers. So I actually ended up spending less to get higher power with something from Macintosh than and get separates versus something from Pioneer or Marantz or Sansui or something like that. So for me, it was kind of like a value thing. And then also, like, I knew that if I didn't love it, I could probably um I could probably like sell it and not be out any money. That stinks. Yes, it does, dude. Yeah. Makes me mad. PayPal protection. No, I was the one that was selling the watch. So there ain't no PayPal protection for someone that's selling the watch, because the purchaser got refunded. No, I sold the watch. It went to a authenticator, an eBay authentication service. And when they got the package was empty. So somebody from UPS opened the package, took out the watch, resealed it, and then delivered it. So yeah, empty package. SVS Ultra, Klipsch 9s, and Linton, my guess. I don't know what that means. I've never heard the Ultras. Although that might be a fun speaker to get in. Prices on the vintage stuff have shot way up. Yeah, during the pandemic, everything went bananas. It's never come back down. Joseph Rose, $5. Thank you. Enjoy the videos. I know it's a job, but I wish I could play with all that equipment. Yeah, let me tell you, it's still fun. It's still a blast. But sometimes I wish that sometimes I wish I didn't have to put out another video, because I just want to listen and enjoy a system, and everything is constantly changing. And I'm not complaining at all, because I'm super fortunate to be able to have this career and this job, and it is a ton of fun. But yeah, sometimes I wish I just had a couple of weeks or so just to listen to one system. And maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to set up like a permanent system upstairs or something that doesn't change all the time, and just go up there and listen every now and again for a little while. Yeah, I probably need to do that. Randy, is your eBay resolved yet? I don't know. I was just talking about the UPS thing. I'll have to look. I haven't listed anything since it's happened, which makes me really mad. It's actually amazing how frequent you post videos. John, thank you. Well, you got to feed the beast. Like, if you want to make it on YouTube, you got to put out a lot of content. And you don't always know what content is going to do well and what's not. Like, because I can't just say, oh, well, I put a lot of effort into this video and like it's going to do great. Sometimes that happens. A lot of times it doesn't, though. So I try to put out as much content for as many people as I can, because I don't always know what people want to see. Right? Like I don't know. And if I only put out the content like, oh, I'm just going to put out this because I want to, then like that doesn't really help out the community. So anyway, any collaborations in the future? Yes, one is going to be a really, really fun collaboration with somebody that is well known, and I'll just leave it at that. That's a latest Amazon scam in the UK now. Order speakers, get a box of bricks. I know it happened to me. Oh, it makes me so like it. Like I can't even talk about it too much because it makes me so mad. Like it was an expensive watch, so I lost over $1,000 on that one. So yeah. William Smothers, $5. Olaf from Wiley, Texas. Qdelix, 5K DAC amp, $109. Matching IEM, have two-way crossover, incredible feature set. Thanks. I think a good fit for cheap audio man. Amazon. I've heard of the Qdelix for sure. It is basically an upgraded version of the Ear Studio M100 Mark II. And I love that thing. It's a Bluetooth receiver, has a bunch of EQ in it. So yeah, I'd be interested in that. I need to check it out. So yeah. PT1 part 1. What's that? Ask again with a little bit more detail in the question. You send the watch without insurance? No, I had some insurance. Here's the deal though, man. Like I don't want to talk about it. I can't talk about it. So there was insurance on it. Yes. But also the whole point of like eBay's authenticity guarantee is that you send it to them and then they send it to the customer. So you send it to like wherever the authenticator is. And I think like the driver or the delivery people are savvy to the part to the point where like, hey, this is an authentication service. So whatever's going here is worth something. Small box. So it wasn't like they were going to steal. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. The only thing I know is that the box showed up empty, and I know that I put the watch in the box. So live and learn. So I'll have to. It's one of those things that upset me so much that I haven't even like. I have to go and I have to call UPS, and calling UPS was a nightmare to actually talk to somebody. And you could just tell when they were taking my information that nothing was going to happen. Like I asked them, I'm like, do you need my email? Like, how am I going to know what happens with this? Anyway, made me mad. Hey, $1.99 Bonzo Star. Ordered Gishelli J2. Can't wait. Thanks for the review. Which one did you get? Did you get the AKM or the Saber? Did you get the one with socketed op amps? A lot of folks seem to be downgrading their system. What a two-channel system? What a two-channel system you'd recommend? Mine is the TA1 and Wharfdale 225s. A lot of folks seem to be downgrading their system. What a two-channel system? Oh, what is a two-channel system you'd recommend? Mine is a TA1 and Wharfdale 225. I think that's a good system. I did, Tony. I did open an online claim with UPS. I did. But they don't care, man. Like how they're not going to be able to prove that I sent the watch or didn't send the watch. That's the thing, man. It's going to be like he said. Like I say I sent the watch. They say no, the watch showed up empty. Like, so who's right? Same thing happened at AT&T when I sent a phone back one time. The phone never showed up and I was on the hook for paying for the phone. Anyway, back to Chris. A lot of folks seem to be downgrading this. What is a two-channel system you recommend? Mine is a TA1 and Wharfdale 225. I think it depends on the price. So that system all in, the TA1 is what, $550, and the Wharfdale 225, I think those are probably around $400. So for, let's just say $1,000 or so, I think, I mean, I probably want to go outside the TA1. I think that's a great value for that. Personally, I'd probably get, I don't know, B2 plus or something like that for the speakers. So I would recommend something like that. The Yamaha AS301 is a good amplifier, not great, good if you use the variable loudness control. That's $350. Has coax, optical input, sub output, decent remote control. And then whatever kind of speakers that you're into, you got a lot of options. You have the JBL Stage A130s. You can get the Sonys. Then you get a little subwoofer with that. So yeah, Yamaha AS301. Then you can look at the AL200 from SMSL. Sounds fantastic. Really, really good. That's like $260. Really good sounding amp. What do you think of fully loaded J2? I think it's probably going to sound awesome. That's a lot of money though when you start thinking about getting the whatchamacallits, Sparkos put on there. I think for most people, just a regular old J2 is going to be great. Is it fully loaded better? Yeah, it is. So yeah. I just got the A2M. Do you plan a review on Class D versus AB? That's a difficult video to do because not all Class D sounds the same. It sounds remarkably different, actually. Even if you just look at like the 3255 chipsets from Texas Instruments compared to something like the Infineon 12070s, they sound different. And then you have the added complexity of SMSL having like baked in EQ settings, like the SDB EQ settings, a very well done EQ setting, but it also sounds different. Like the Maris chipset sounds different than the M12070. So like you have a bunch of different sounding Class Ds, and then you have the same thing with Class ABs, to where like a Yamaha AS301 is a Class AB amplifier, but it sounds very different than the Denon PMA 600NE, which is also a Class AB amplifier. So like you have a lot, like there is no one is better than the other. There just isn't. Because there's a lot of things that go into that. And like you just can't speak in absolutes. I think for a similarly priced Class AB amplifier, generally for me is going to be what I would choose over Class D amplifier, not necessarily for the sonics, but for the longevity. With a Class AB amplifier, generally you just have a lot more space, a lot more areas for heat to dissipate. And I think in the long term, that Class AB amplifier, depending upon how it's built, is probably going to last longer than that Class D amplifier, depending upon how it's built. But again, that's painting with broad strokes. So yeah. Justin Ingram, $5. You open to reviewing a Texas audio brand like Audio Engine? I didn't know they're from Texas. Would love to see your takeaways compared to what else you've listened to. Yeah, I would for sure. I don't think they've ever reached out to me though. Maybe they have. I thought maybe they were going to send me something. But no. But I would totally review it. Yeah, for sure. I just don't think that they've talked to me about it. RG, what is WoW? What are you wowing about? What's the other company that sells discrete replacements in bulk? Bulgaria or something. There's one, Burson, but they're in like Australian. Yeah. I guess I've been lucky that anytime anything like that happened, somebody other than me made good on it. Are you talking about the watch thing? The beginning of eBay, I bought a Michael Jordan rookie. Turns out it was a fake. Only cost me $800. eBay sided with the seller. Claims I switched it. I still have the fake as a reminder. Yeah. At some point, so here's the thing. At some point, I'm glad I'm talking about it here because it means that I'm not losing time on it thinking some for myself. So the watch that I so I bought the watch, and the watch was actually, I sold the watch for more than I paid for it because that watch is not available right now. Like it'll take months to get it. So anyway, I sold the watch for more than I paid for it. Not significantly more, but a little bit more. And I think it was like $1,400. But by the time eBay takes their cut and everything, so I think I'm out about $1,200 on this watch. So I have to consider to myself, or the question I was asking myself is, how much is my time worth? So like even to begin like the process, first I had to contact eBay, which was like a 2 or 3 hour thing because I wanted to talk to somebody in their authentication. So I lost like 2 or 3 hours just getting to eBay. Okay. And then I was having to send in stuff because the seller had basically put a claim against me because anyway, it was a whole big deal. And then I had to contact UPS, which was like another hour or two. So I'm already into this thing for 4 or 5 hours. Okay. And that's time that I can't be making videos. And then I have to consider like when I'm upset and like when I have like this righteous indignation about somebody doing something wrong, like that puts me in a negative headspace, which makes it even more challenging for me to make content. Okay. And come up with ideas and stuff. So at one point, I got to the point after I did the thing with UPS, I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? If this doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I am unwilling to invest any more time and any more stress into this, regardless if like I'm completely getting hosed. Like I know people say, well, what's the principle of it? Well, I don't care because the principle of it is going to cost me more time and more money by simply just moving on with it and just being like, you know what? Life sucks. Sometimes you get ripped off. And I got ripped off. So be it. But to let it like ruin and cause even more financial difficulty on my part because I'm like still like sideways about it is something that I can't afford. So it's cheaper just to let it go than it is to actually pursue it in a weird, ironic way. Hack, rotate old woofers, prevents voice coil drag. Cool. StockX sells collectibles. They switched me. I lost $400. They switched on Nike. Now got major lawsuit. Sells collectibles. They switched me. I don't know if I quite follow that. I think what you're saying is like they screwed you. So yeah. Yeah. Stress is not worth it. Randy, I don't want to talk about it. The beast, that us, we're talking about it. Well, I'm glad like this is like I'm not wasting any time talking about it here and actually talking about it with y'all like helps me kind of work it out in my brain too. So yeah, they switched my watch. Yeah. It sucks. Another feeling. I think the takeaway for me is like if I'm ever going to sell anything that's like remotely expensive, I guess I'm gonna like film myself putting it in the box, take it to like a UPS place, have them seal it while I'm recording it, and then like use it. But the thing about it is, even if you like have all that, like who are you gonna talk to? Because it took me hours to get to the right person at eBay. And even when I got to the right person at eBay, they really didn't seem like they cared too much about this. Like I was wanting to have them like hold on to the packaging so that UPS could do their investigation. I was getting kind of conflicting, like I was dealing with two people at eBay. So even if you have all that stuff, it's not like you can just call UPS or call eBay and like talk to a single person that's going to bird dog the whole thing for you. It's like I could just tell when I talk to UPS, like it's just not. This isn't going to work. Like I'm not getting the outcome that I want, and I have to be okay with that. And I am sure that this is less common. Like I'm sure 95% of the time things work out just fine. but they're 5%, 2%, 1%. Sometimes you get screwed. And yeah, that's what happened. Greetings from Peru. Will there be a video of the Fozzy Audio V3 versus the SMSL A300? Yeah, probably. There probably will be that review. I'm working on a speaker review for tomorrow. And then I got to get my schedule squared away. I have about 5 different products that I can make a video on really at any given moment right now. But I got to look at my schedule for September. But yes, that video is going to come. Matt Durant, Canadian, $6.99. Thank you so much. You should do a video against UPS. I only ship USPS if more than $300 due to insurance. Anything shipped to New York, Miami insurance. Yeah, what is it going to do? Like UPS, I mean, bad people work for every organization. So UPS has criminals working for them. Like, it's not UPS. It's just subsection of our society. Like, there's bad people that work for every place. Bad people that work at McDonald's, Again, like, the amount of like effort I'm going to put into this is probably it. Like, this is probably the last time I'm going to talk about it, because it's like, what is the point of like belaboring something? And to have it like negatively impact me it's not worth it at all. So yeah. My battery just died on the camera. Hold on just a second. I gotta switch out batteries. I have more issues with these live streams. Here. Let's see if it comes back. Probably gonna have to turn it off and then turn it back on. There we go. All right. Let's see if it comes back. I might have to come out of here and then here, let me go settings, camera. It's not working. I may have, since this happened like while I was streaming, it may not come back. Well, I guess maybe this is a sign that I should probably call this one good. Hold on. I'm going to do some more. What if I'm blue or bronze for the U-turn orbit theory? I haven't heard the bronze. I am a big fan of the blue. So, hold on. Hey, we're back. There's a button down at the bottom of the video that says, or bottom of my settings that says start cam. I didn't click on that. What if I'm blue or bronze for the U-turn theory? I don't have any experience with the bronze. I love the blue. It's probably my favorite like neutral cartridge. That's another thing. I've got 2 cartridges I've got to review. I've gotten these for a while ago. This is the Gold Ring E4, and then this is the Gold Ring Oroica HX. My first moving coil cartridge. So anyway, I need to review those both badly. I keep saying I'm going to do it this week, and I keep not doing it. I can't tell you. The blue I love. Bronze I just don't have any experience with. Paul Burns, $20. $20 towards less stress. Thank you very much. Very, very much. Sorry about my camera dying. Would subscribe to the Cam podcast too. Yeah. I don't know what I would do for a podcast, right? Like, who am I going to talk to? About 2 J2 AKM socketed 4 Weems on your recommendation. Couldn't be happier. I'd love if you would compare the Emotiva DR1 against the DR2. I'd love to see if there's any noticeable difference. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, you're going to be saving a lot. I I doubt there's like a giant difference, but yeah, I'm sure the DR1 monoblocks are a little bit better. Totally forgot there was a camp. It wasn't really, yeah. So yeah, it was Ron Ron handled all the podcast stuff, and so he would post it all. Does Eroica have anything? I have no idea the name. I just know that it looks like, to me, this looks like a box of condoms. When I got this, this straight up looks like a box of condoms to me. But anyway, I thought the DAC and the Weem Pro is the same DAC as in the Weem. I think maybe it is. I don't know. I think I screwed that up in videos. I think I said it was a different DAC. Now the DAC and the Weem Pro Plus is definitely a different DAC. I love the bronze cart. Have a great weekend. Facebook Marketplace is the only place I sell now, cash only in a local police department. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And that's probably what I want to do with the if I do sell the Macintosh stuff. The problem is like how many people like are going to come to Dallas to pick that up? Kevin Gardner, quit giving me money, my friend. Randy, as always and forever, thanks for your help and advice. I will always be in your debts. Stop. And I have a couple favors to repay. Please don't. You don't need to repay anything. Pay it forward. $20 is great. Please have a great Labor Day weekend. Thank you, Kevin, so much. Kevin, you don't need to give me any money, but I appreciate that so much. Everything's bigger in Texas for a Brit. All right, I'm going to call this one. We've been at this for 107. Eroica is the same name of Beethoven Symphony. Oh, very cool. Hey, from Welsham in England, married to a Scot, Fozzie, Topping, and Weem fan. After many of your recommendations, great channel. Stress less, my friend. Thank you, Mike. I'm good. The only time I stress is when you guys bring up the UPS stealing my watch. Anyway, no, it was good talking about it. But I'm done with it. Like it is not going to be, I'm not going to give it any more time in my head. All right. I love you guys. Please tune in tomorrow. Going to be a great video on a great speaker. Great. Going to be great. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. Have a safe holiday weekend. If you're in the US, have a safe weekend. If you're not in the US, you guys are awesome. I love you. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.